Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD, is a neuropsychiatric condition linked to dysfunction in the brain's executive functioning systems. It is characterized by irregularities in the brain's dopamine and norepinephrine systems, particularly within the prefrontal cortex, which governs attention, self-regulation, planning, and impulse control. Individuals with ADHD often show reduced activity in the frontal lobes, as well as impairments in the basal ganglia and cerebellum. These neurological patterns contribute to difficulties with sustained attention, a tendency toward impulsivity, rapid shifts in focus, and an intense need for novelty and stimulation. The causes of ADHD are multifactorial. Genetic predisposition plays a major role. If one parent has ADHD, the likelihood of a child developing it increases significantly. However, early developmental factors are also critical, such as prenatal complications, maternal stress or substance exposure during pregnancy, perinatal hypoxia, and adverse environmental conditions during infancy and early childhood. Social factors, like inconsistent or traumatic parenting and unstable family structures, may not directly cause ADHD, but they often exacerbate its behavioral manifestations. While ADHD is relatively common among adolescents and adults, it is rarely seen among serial offenders, especially those whose actions are methodical and strategically planned. However, one particularly unusual case stood out in this regard. In that instance, the behavioral profile strongly indicated the presence of ADHD-like traits. The individual wasn't merely impulsive. What made him difficult to track was the erratic nature of his behavioral patterns. He frequently altered his methods, locations, timing, and even motives, displaying a chaotic modus operandi that defied traditional profiling techniques. One of the most striking features uncovered during the profiling process was the absence of ritualization. Each incident was distinct from the last, contradicting conventional theories about behavioral escalation in serial offenders. What ultimately helped crack the case was a pattern correlating the offender's activity with periods of heightened dopaminergic arousal, typical of individuals with ADHD, especially when under stress-induced stimulation. The subject's fluctuating behavior, impulsive decision-making, short-term planning, and nocturnal activity all pointed to frontal cortex instability and an overactive limbic system. These neurological and behavioral indicators shaped a profile that played a critical role in bringing him to justice.